The Halloween season is over. The UK theme park season is almost over. So what next for your experience guide here on YouTube? Well, quite a lot actually. Hello, I'm Scott. Now, firstly, delighted to announce that we will soon be launching our brand new podcast here on Your Experience Guide, the Dispatch Podcast. Now, you might be wondering, why that name? Well, we wanted to use something that basically said we're sending a roller coaster, so we could have called it Send It, or we could have called it the Coaster Hosts, the Ride Hosts, the Coaster Ops, but we went with the Dispatch Podcast, basically because we're dispatching the roller coaster. I know that probably sounds like absolute nonsense, but that was just some of the thinking that we went with. We were originally looking at using 235 in there for the old connection to Club 235, Club Pleasure Beach, of course the big one, 235 foot from sea level. So we originally looked at that and looking at things that fit in with that. But in the end, we decided to drop that from the name and go with the Dispatch Podcast. And I'm pleased to say the first episode is launching on Sunday, the 10th of November, which is very soon, as long as I get a wiggle on and get it edited, because I've still got a bit of work to do with it. The first episode will include me, Scott. There will be Mike, who's very familiar on this channel, and of course Stephen, who's been very familiar on the channel over the past 18 months. We will be talking about the lack of new thrill coasters in the UK since 2010. There'll also be Stephen's competition round, which was very amusing to film. There's the On the Break Run section, which is completely unscripted visitor attraction conversation, ranging from roller coaster chat, water park chat, and a few other things thrown in for good measure as well. And then we end it with a Q&A session. Last week on social media, we asked everyone for their questions for the podcast for the first episode. What we're going to do with the Q&A session is we're actually going to split it up and put one section of it in the first episode, the other section in the second episode, because that was the longest part of the filming. Everything else was, every other section was around 15, 20, 25 minutes. It's all been condensed for the video, of course. It always happens with filming something like a podcast. You're always going to cut it down. But the Q&A session actually took an hour. When we ask everyone to send us questions for a Q&A, we don't like to leave loads of the questions out because, we've not got time or because we don't want to answer them. We try and answer basically every question that we get sent in. And when we were recording it, we weren't realising just how long we were filming doing that section. So I think it's best that we split it up into two sections, into two episodes, and we get everyone's questions answered. If there has been any duplicate questions, we've done our best to kind of answer both of those questions, or however many of the questions that were similar, all sort of together into one answer at the time of basically reading out those questions. So what else is going on here on Your Experience Guide other than the brand new podcast? We're going back to Orlando, and that is very soon. And I am so excited to be going back to Universal once again to ride, in my opinion, one of the best roller coasters in the world, Velocicoaster, and to explore all of the other good stuff in Islands of Adventure, and this time probably go to Universal Studios Florida, do some of the rides. Last time it was very centered around Halloween, so the only time that we went into studios was for Halloween Horror Nights. Of course, we'll be going back to Busch Gardens. Hopefully, we have a better day than last time, because last time it was full of ride availability issues. We were there for the normal park hours and the Howlo Scream event. The Howlo Scream event was actually brilliant, but it just got ruined. The longer the night went on, the worse people got in the mazes. They were trying to fight with actors, causing trouble. And it was just not a nice place to be, so we cut the night short and just left it. It is an event that I really enjoy doing. I've done it twice. I did it in 2022 and I did it this year. And both times where the event itself is good, but this time it was just a little bit disappointing to have it ruined in such a way. And I'm hoping that when we go back to it next year, it'll be different. But Busch Gardens Tampa Bay is a park that I really enjoy visiting. They've got great coasters, they've got good water rides, good flat rides. As long as they're open, or most of them are open, it will be a great day. We've booked onto the behind the scenes tour which I think includes Montu and Cheetah Hunt. Really looking forward to that as well. And just looking forward to having another go at having a good day at Busch Gardens, because this year was the third time I'd been there. Been in 2017, 2022, and this year. And this year was by far the worst time that I've ever had there. Whereas 2017, 2022 were fantastic days. Whereas this time, the ride availability and then the issues already mentioned with Howl-O-Scream, it just put a dampener on the whole day. And then just to make it worse, when we were driving back, the main road between Tampa and Orlando was shut for roadwork. So we had to go some really random route round. And then just to make that journey a little bit worse, as I opened a drink, it exploded and went everywhere. And this time around, we'll hopefully get a day visit into SeaWorld Orlando. On the last visit, we did get there for Howl-O-Scream, and that was a fantastic event. Really, really good. I enjoyed it in 2022, but it improved significantly for 2024. And I'm already excited to see what they do with that event next year. However, again, there was issues with things going on in the mazes and in the park towards the end of the night. So again, that one got cut short. We went back to go to SeaWorld Orlando in the daytime for getting on all the coasters a few days after that, but we turned up and there was a couple of issues for people getting into the park, not us. There was ticketing issues at the gates, the queue was massive to get in, and because we'd got an open dated ticket for there and Universal, we kind of went, do you know what, let's just go back to Islands of Adventure. We got there, decided to do Volcano Bay as well, so ended up going to Volcano Bay, got there, and then everything closed because of the weather. Found out everything was closed in Islands of Adventure, everything was closed at SeaWorld, and it was just like, well, this is a great day, isn't it? So we ended up writing that day off. Originally, we'd actually looked at flying internally from Orlando over to Cleveland to do Cedar Point for a day trip. It would have been a crazy day trip. In hindsight, that probably would have been the better thing to do that day, because we would have actually gotten some rides. But whether we'd have got back to Orlando because of the weather is questionable. But you can't blame the parks for closing the rides. It was just turned out to be a really bad day in terms of getting into SeaWorld was a problem. Then when we got to Volcano Bay, we had no luck getting on the slides. So, yeah, it was just a write-off. But I think because we'd already got this trip planned, it was kind of like, well, we're going to get a chance to come here again. We're going to get a chance to do these things, Volcano Bay, SeaWorld, and anything else that we were planning on doing around Orlando that day. So we've basically got a second chance at it. But it's going to be good to go to SeaWorld Orlando in the daytime. The park does get a lot of stick online. I tend to enjoy going there for the coasters. I don't get into all the politics of SeaWorld. I know people have got their views on what goes on in the parks. For me, it's about the roller coasters. I'm there for Mako, I'm there for Kraken, I'm there for Journey to Atlantis, and the other good rides in the park, which I enjoy doing. I did do Pipeline, one of the newer coasters in the dark during Howl-O-Scream. I'd like to do it in the daytime. Also, they've got Penguin Trek, which is opened. Haven't done that one yet, so I need to get the cred. I need to get the POV for the channel. So, looking forward to getting back to SeaWorld Orlando in the daytime. Also, we will be going to the IAAPA Expo, which is on for a couple of days while we're out there. We do have passes to attend. We've got some interviews lined up. We've got some press conferences that we can attend and film at. So I'm looking forward to getting back to the IAAPA Expo Orlando. I did it in 2022. It was absolutely brilliant for networking, for learning about new rides, learning about the industry. And I'm looking forward to creating a newer version of the vlog that I did in 2022, where it covers the press conferences, a couple of interviews, and just a general insight into the visitor attraction industry. And for the first time since 2017, on a trip to Orlando, there is going to be some Disney content filmed. I don't know exactly what we're going to be filming yet because, as you probably all know, Disney is bloody expensive and it is literally a last-minute decision to throw in some Disney parks into this trip. So whether it'll be one park or four, I really don't know at this point, but there will be some Disney content. There'll probably be a vlog, there'll probably be some POVs, and it will be good to actually get back to one or a few of those parks for the first time since 2017. And two other things that we're looking at doing. I'm not quite sure if we're going to vlog both of these, but I'd like to. So one of them is Gatorland Orlando, and the second one is Madame Tussauds Orlando. I've done the Tussauds Orlando before. Absolutely loved going there because I'm a big fan of the DC Comics stuff, and in there you've got Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, all those from the Zack Snyder trilogy of DC films. So it's always good to walk around there. There's good interactive sections. So I liked that last time. I'm hoping that's still the same. We didn't film it last time. We got loads of pictures. We were actually the only 2 people in there when we did it in 2022, which really surprised me. I expected it to be busy. But when we went in, it was just literally 2 of us walking around. So we had time to get photos of literally everything. You compare it to the one in London, where it's basically like 1 million people in there at any one time. It was totally different and totally unexpected how quiet that actually was. As for Gatorland, we need to get permission to film, and I have seen a lot of vlogs from there. Tom and Stacey did an incredible vlog there. I think it was in 2022, where they were feeding the gators, and they did a couple of other exclusive stuff that you wouldn't normally get to see and do and film. And I really enjoyed their vlog, and that is a big sort of driving force in why I want to go to Gatorland, because I do like gators anyway. I think they're a fascinating creature. But when I watched their vlog, I was like, you know what? I need to go to Gatorland Orlando because it actually looks brilliant. And maybe there is a little bit more to Orlando than just roller coasters. So it's kind of like, I've seen the vlog and I want to go. So we are going there. Like I say, I don't know if we'll be allowed to film. You do need to get permission to film beforehand. I don't think you can just turn up and start filming everything. That's according to the website anyway, so I'm trying to get some clarity on that. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to film that, but hopefully we can. And if we do, of course, there will be a vlog on the channel. With us heading into the winter season, I have now cut us down to 2 uploads a week on the channel, so we will be uploading every Sunday at 6 p.m, every Thursday at 6 p.m. for the foreseeable. That'll probably change back to 4 uploads when the UK theme park season restarts in 2024. So, the Orlando content and the new podcast will pretty much take us to Christmas. However, there will be some occasional Blackpool information videos if there's stuff going on. And also, we do have a trip to Park Warner lined up in December, and we've booked a VIP experience on Batman Gotham City Escape. This is basically an ERT with stuff thrown in. But considering how good that roller coaster is, but how bad it is to queue for, it just made sense for €80 to book an experience that allows us to re-ride it as much as we want for an hour, and also get a load of merch, on-ride photos, on-ride videos thrown into the mix as well. It just makes sense to do it. Also, if it is busy on the day, it means that we don't have to stand in a 2-hour queue, which is a very tedious and frustrating queue when we've got an ERT on it at the end of the day. So very much looking forward to that. We'll be covering that for the channel. We'll be doing a full park vlog at Park Warner for the 3rd December running, and I think, like the last 2 years, it will probably be the last theme park vlog of the season when it gets uploaded around Christmas time. On a non-YouTube related subject, we will be doing more reels and more videos on our social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram in the coming weeks as well. Something that we're really keen to start doing more of. Over the last 6 to 9 months, we've pushed a lot of on-ride videos out there on Facebook, and it's been really popular. There's been great engagement and great views on those, which is why I've not put as many POVs on this channel this year. However, next year, I've seen the feedback. We will start uploading more POVs to the channel alongside the vlogs on here next year as well. But in the immediate future, on Facebook and Instagram, there's going to be more reels posted and probably a continuation of random on-ride videos posted up too. And lastly, before I finish this video, if you have got any suggestions for the new podcast, please let me know in the comments section below. We're open to ideas. We've got episode 1 filmed. Episode 2 is getting filmed very soon. But we are open to ideas. We're open to suggestions. We're open to see what everyone wants us to do with a podcast. So please let us know in the comments section below. So that's all from me today. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button. There's a little thumbs up below. Please comment. Please subscribe. Many thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.